day after day, really. I just put this in because this was, my dad was leading, and a few miles back we've gone past a beautiful lay-by. Amazing scenery, and he rode straight past that one, onto the next one, and that's where we had to have lunch. So still pretty good scenery, but I'm to this day annoyed with him for going past a particularly good vista. Yet another view. So the other thing that you do a lot, what we seem to do a lot in Norway, was you drop down to sea level for the fjords, and then obviously you're climbing back up again. And if I just, so here, for example, you're at the top of a hill with the sheep going across the road, and then I'll just skip through a few pictures. This particular, we'd actually rode up that road, so all the way up there, which I forget the name of the place, but it's quite a famous lookout point. But one of the picture I wanted to skip to, I'll skip a little bit across, was this one, because one of the issues that John and I had was we realised pretty quickly that A, my dad's bike was a lot quicker uphill, but also that our bikes were struggling, they were getting quite hot. So he and I actually devised a sort of routine where when we were climbing uphill every couple of miles, you could sort of sense that the engine was sort of saying, well, I've had enough now. And we'd pull over and stop and enjoy the scenery. His wife, to her credit, had put a little bag of boiled sweets in. Fantastic, because we'd sort of just get a sweet out and enjoy the view. Now, if I was on my modern bike, or my Himalayan, I'd have just ridden straight up there. And well, this is fun, I'm in second gear. But the fact that you had to stop, there was no choice. Enjoy the scenery is one of the benefits, I would say, of the older bikes, because you've got no choice in the matter. And sorry, I've gone backwards now, but I was just going to mention on this particular day, there it is. That photograph was taken at about 10:30 at night with my second beer of the day, so you had to walk out. But this particular campsite was quite interesting because you got talking to other bikers, and a chap turned up there on I'm sure it was a GS, and he was going up to the Nordkapp. So he got off the ferry that morning in southern Norway, and he got up to there. This was our third or fourth day, so it's taken us 4 days, and he's done it in 1 day. And he was determined. He was packed up and gone. The next morning, by 6 o'clock, he was away. You know, he was getting up to the Nordkapp. He was going to turn around. He was going to get back down. And I distinctly remember thinking, I'd like to go to the Nordkapp. I'm a bit disappointed that we're not going all the way, but at the same time thinking, I'm not sure he's having as much fun as we are, to be honest, because yeah, he's just hell for leather. So I'm not saying his way was right and my way was wrong, or vice versa, just that there's different ways of doing it. And that particular night really sort of brought that home to me. Conscious of the time.
No, you're fine. Absolutely fine.
This picture is for my dad's benefit. He had bought a cycling kit and carried it around on his bike for about 10 years, never used it. But as it was the shakedown run for my bike, we learned A, that it doesn't have a reserve, and B, that the range is about 100 miles. Thankfully, that we learned that at the top of the hill, so I just coasted all the way down as far as I could. Finally came to a stop, and we didn't do headsets or anything, so you just waited for him to realise I wasn't behind, come back and siphoned out some fuel. So again, it was a beautiful little spot, middle of nowhere. I couldn't even tell you where it was, but it was a nice little place to stop. The Crocs again for Nathan's enjoyment. And then this was, I thought, well, I'll take this picture because I won't have a nicer view whilst I'm having lunch during the trip. And then I saw when I was doing this, putting this together, I had about 6 or 7 nice, pretty lunches. So that was just one of them. This is going across on one of the ferries. Just for my own interest really, but if anyone is interested in boats, it was quite interesting because they were using electric ferries, so totally silent as you're crossing. And the locals were saying that sometimes when they plug the boats in at night to charge them, the whole lights can sort of dim. But and interesting, I was talking to someone in Vancouver this week who was basically implementing that technology in British Columbia. So if you're a boat geek, it was quite interesting. That's one of the electric boats. So there we go. This was when my engine needed seized. That was it. So remember I said when you're going uphill you've got to stop. And on this particular occasion I was having a little bit too much fun, went a little bit too far, and I suddenly lost quite a lot of power. And luckily stopped just in time before it had sort of said, enough's enough. So we spent, I think, about half an hour waiting for the damper to cool down. It was steaming away. checked the oil, and on we went. It did use quite a bit of oil, to be honest, but again, we just checked that every couple of days. So selfie, this is another break on a hillside, just stopping to get up. It was, and another selfie for the wife back home, and the views again. And yet another stopping on a hillside. So one of the things that I decided to go on airplane mode. So the only pictures I basically took were as we were stopped to climb up hills. And this was just taken to mark that we did find snow. So we finally got high enough and north enough to find some snow, albeit just in the distance. It's a bit like today, really.
What month were you there?
August, July, August. Yes. So this was lunch, nice lunch view number 2. Unfortunately, someone took a bloody horrible picture of me, but I was happy, I promise. And this particular day, so what we realised was that we obviously had a ferry ticket back, and we recalibrated. We thought we're not covering the distance as I said at the start, so we decided we won't go quite as far up north, we'll start heading back. And it was actually as a storm hit Norway, so you know how it is, you try and avoid the weather, but at some point just, you know you're going to get wet that day. So this was setting off, wet weather gear on, and trying to get the bikes to start once they'd been out overnight in the rain. That was about 2 hours later. Sorry, I'm vibrating. Turns out my waterproofs weren't as waterproof as I would have liked. And we finally made our way down into Larvik and had a cake. We got to Larvik, thinking we'll move the ferry forward and we'll get on into Denmark, only to find out that they cancelled the ferry sailings. So we spent 3 days in Larvik, which was incredibly frustrating because that was 3 days we could have gone further into Norway and had much, but that's just the luck of the draw you take, isn't it? So if anyone's been to Larvik, haven't been, you think you're going, you're not a lot there, to be honest with you. It's a narrow time museum and that's about it. So we just ate quite a bit of cake and finally got the ferry. So this is the end of the trip. We're coming back to the plan was to get back to Denmark, and then we were going to ride about 100 miles into Denmark where there was an international rally for the Panthers, and then we'd be back in the van. So this is me sort of saying, well, hey, we've done it. And this picture is John and I on the last day, looking very proud of ourselves because we've done the trip. And it's like, aside from a few minor breakdowns, nothing had gone wrong. 10 miles later, I thought that again, I heard a noise. And that was my gearbox deciding that it didn't want to be mounted to the bike anymore. So you can see here, there's the nuts have gone here, and the mounts underneath were completely. The gearbox is basically just swinging in the frame. 20 miles from the finish. Oh, really? So again, we cobbled together, John and I, and found some nuts and bolts, and managed to get the gearbox back into the bike. That's supposed to be a picture, and managed to ride it gingerly. The frames changed here, but we did make it back to the event, and we made the trip. We did it, and then the bikes were back in the van, and we went home. So that was it, really. That was the end of the trip. And then what next was, that's the bike. So we came back from the trip, and I had a big list of jobs to do. And you think, well, this wasn't so great, that wasn't so great. One of them was rewire the bike. So last winter, I took on the challenge of rewiring the bike. I thought I'd done a really good job, to be honest. And if you'd seen the state of the wiring, I was amazed that it managed to get around Norway. But it won't charge now, so I probably should have left it how it was. But that was in a whistle-stop tour, Norway, in 2023 by Panther. So thank you very much for listening.
Anybody got any questions for Rob? Before he shoots off? I mean, Rob, where you sat, Rob?
Table 7.
Maybe he's got a Norway plan in place. We're going to have a chat with Rob, see what his ideas are and things. And obviously, there's pros and cons of an old bike as well.
Yeah, there's definitely pros and cons, but I'd recommend it if you can be bothered with the brake pads.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Hello, Rob.
It's hard to sort of.
Okay.
Yeah, just about, yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, you're right. Okay, just a really quick video. We're just filming live from the evening of adventure up here in Hinckley. We've got, I think, 80 of us here for dinner and stuff. And we're going to do the draw for the 3CT 125s. So that's going to be in about 5 minutes. Going to get Rich to pull the numbers that give people the winning, give him the winning number. So let's have a look. So it's all very impromptu. So we've got the red CT 125 here. So that's first prize. Second prize is a green CT 125. Third prize is a beige 125. But all mint, well, they've been used, but they're ready to be used and abused by somebody else. Nice condition. That one runs really well. It's got about 4,000 miles on the clock. There we go. And that talk there was by Rob, who rode a Panther, an old Panther, up to Norway with his dad and a friend. So we've just got a few other speakers here tonight, and then we're going to do the draw. Then we're going to have a meal, and then we're going to hear from Tom and Lauren, who did London to Cape Town on CG 125. So they're going to do a little bit talking afterwards. But in a few minutes we're going to do the live draw for the CT 125. So if you're tuning in for that, that's going to happen in the next few minutes. So bear with me. It's all a bit ad hoc, not very good at organising and planning things, but hopefully somebody wins a bike tonight. Well, there will be. 3 people are going to win a bike tonight. So I'm going to put camera down here. We'll get ourselves organised and we'll be back in a minute. Anybody, what do you want to drink? What are you drinking back there on the camera? What are you drinking? Have you got beer in? Have you got tea in and wine in? Tell us. Tell us, what are you drinking? Eggnog? Whiskey? Shandy? You all right? Yeah, he's good, wasn't he? Yeah, good. Guys, just a few minutes. Everyone's getting a drink at the bar. Let me show you. So just people getting a few drinks at the bar, and then we're going to do the live draw. There's Rich. Rich is going to pull the numbers. I hope you've buttered him up with some promise of something financial. So yeah, just bear with us a couple of minutes. We'll let people get sat back down, and then we're going to do the live draw on the bikes. Thanks all for tuning in. Thanks all for putting money in, really. I mean, I know the win is that you guys might win a bike, but obviously Rich over there, it puts money for a Can-Am. It puts money for a try. It gets people back moving. So I think it's a double-edged win, really. You might win a bike. He's going to get a bike, which is going to get him back on road. So it's a great thing you've done by sticking your hand in your pocket and buying some tickets. And I know everyone's grateful. And here's Dave. I'm not going to embarrass Dave. He'll not hear me. But Dave's been my business partner. He come in early days. He wanted to put some money in for some bikes and stuff. And he come along. And, I'm always wary of people who want something. But bless him. He bought the CT125s. I think he just wanted to help. He wanted to help. So he bought the CT125s, which we've been running. And when I raised the subject to this giveaway, he said, well, let's give him. Let's put him in. So he's donated bikes. So I think if there's an admirable man in this room, that is Dave Shaw right there. Dave Shaw right there. He won't turn around. I won't shout him. But it's his generosity which has given us the bikes to give away. And he's been generous to me. He's helped me a lot. He's a good friend. And he said, we're all good friends with Rich. We all want to get people back moving. So, there's no vested interest here. Nobody's out to get out other than give something. And that's the beautiful thing, isn't it? Giving something back. Rich were on I've got to be honest, I'll tell you now, Rich was on my tour when he had his accident. He was helping me, he was riding to help me. And it happened under my watch. Which is, if anybody wonders why. Oh, because he was one of my men, he's one of my team. And we do what we can to help, don't we? It was an unfortunate accident of which we can all have, and it's our duty to do our best to get him back on road, get him back helping, and to get him back out there on two wheels. It's a tough road, isn't it, when you've been in that situation, when you've been a free man and now you're constricted. It's tough. It's a tough road. But he's a strong old bastard, and so it's going to whatever he buys. We don't care, to be honest. He's got people behind him who are going to help him. And that's you guys. In fairness, that's you guys watching. So fair play. Thanks for tuning in. Any minute now, we're going to give that bike away. Somebody's going to get it. I've got a straight up brake lever out before anybody gets it. To be honest, it's a bit bent. But otherwise, she runs like a dream, like a new one. Green one runs like a new one. Beige one runs like a great one. So give us a few minutes and we'll be right back at you. Yeah, so this is it. These are just people, I don't want to say followers. They're just people who watch a bit of video. They know me they've been on tours or they know me and they just wanted to come out on a bloody cold, snowy evening in Hinckley. I mean, if you're not from UK, you'll know that Hinckley is not a destination you generally aim for. But we're in Hinckley. We're at a conference centre. And we're having a beer. Yeah, nice one, Dave. I've just read that one. Nice one, Dave. Yeah, credit to Dave. Unsung hero. He won't want any credit, but he deserves it. That man there. Dave, just say wave. That's Dave. He won't want to be on camera, so I won't invite him. But say thank you, Dave. Yeah, no, you're all right, John, you're all right. So I've got an umbilical cord of a extension cable here. Newark Classic today. That was bloody cold. It sheds, wasn't it, up there? Bloody hell. Newark Classic on a day like today. You must be mad. He is indeed a true gentleman. Not many like it, in fairness. Not many like it. We've got some good friends here tonight. There you go. That's actually my mum and dad. My mum and dad have come down today from Scotland. They've come down. Not actually. When my dad who got us, when my mum and dad who got us into motocross when we were young, so it's their fault. But they'd never ridden themselves. My mum rode horses, but my dad never rode a bike. But he got us into motocross. I think I was 8 at the time, and my brother was 10, or 6 and 10, 6 and 8. So yeah. As a parent now, it's our duty, isn't it, to get our kids out there doing stuff, get them living. So that's it. We do, bikers rule, we do. I'll tell you what, I'll tell you a story today. We went to Triumph Factory, and I didn't make any song and dance, I just booked 27 tickets for Triumph Factory. And I didn't say, you know, what we're doing or anything like that. I just paid 27 quid per person. We got a 10% discount for a group rate. Very good, and they welcomed us, and they were fantastic. We did have something in MCM last week about this raffle. I didn't mention going to Triumph Factory as part of this event weekend. And John Blow himself, Triumph CEO, is he CEO? He wrote a book. He signed a book for Rich. Oh, you know, I don't know what he wrote in it, but like a coffee table book, all the best from John Blow. So fair play, Triumph. You know, they didn't have to. They didn't have to do that for us. He didn't have to take time out of his life to do it, but he did, and that's a noble, kind thing. He also give us a pile of buffs to give out to people who were here this weekend, and so we'll give them out to people in a bit. So yeah, if you've just tuned in, we're going to give these bikes away shortly. We just any moment that people get the chance to go on a beer hunt at bar, that's it. They take it, don't they? Yeah, very kind of Triumph. I've got to say, it was I tell you what, it's an interesting tour, the Triumph Tour. And I tell you what, I picked up one point of it, just to digress slightly. He talked about how they design bikes to fit the average rider, and I thought that was quite an insight into why bikes don't work for a lot of people. Because we're not all average riders. Some of us are shorter, some of us are taller, some of us are heavier, some of us got long arms, and so it seemed. And it wasn't an admission of any sort of misgiving by Triumph, but I would imagine it's how all manufacturers operate. They work to the average body size. Now, that's all well and good, but if we're not average body sizes, what do? We have to compromise. But there was no acknowledgement. It was actually, I know I'm not being critical, but there's no acknowledgement that the bike has to be tailor-made, or there's got to be an option for the bike to be tailor-made to the customer. It's almost like a suck it and see type approach, which I know all manufacturers go for. So for people out there who are tall and find bikes too small, or who are small and find bikes too big, that's the reason why, because they design bikes for the average rider. The average rider is what? 5'9", 5'8", maybe 15, 14 stone, male. If you're wondering why there's no bikes to fit females or short riders or tall riders, that is why. Because the manufacturers work to an average. Yeah, so I found that quite insightful. And to be honest, probably predictable. Obviously they can only build one bike for one audience, and that audience has to be a generalised audience. But yeah, if you wonder why the bikes are too tall for you these days, that's why. Right, shall we go? Right, Richard.
Good evening, sir. How are you? Right.
You're live. Say hello to the live audience.
Good evening, live audience.
Live audience. So we gather you're milking this for a bit of sympathy.
Absolutely, yes, 100%. Yeah, bring in every penny I can.
Quick message to anybody back home, Rich, who's put some cash in.
Thank you. In all seriousness, thank you. I can't tell you how grateful I am to all of you, any of you. It means the world to me, as you can probably guess, from anybody who's had any time off biking. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. What are you going to buy? What are you going to? Well, you don't know yet.
There's the thing, you see. I can have maybe a Harley. It almost doesn't matter. It's like, what bike do you choose? does it matter? The only thing that matters is getting out and using it. So we'll find something nice, and we'll put some speed shop stickers on it.
Yeah, we don't have to.
Half the fun's going to be finding one.
Half the fun is shopping. Yeah, as you know.
Yeah, all right, mate. All right, well, we'll get everyone sat down. No pun intended, you already bloody sat down, aren't you? Okay, now you've got to stay here. You are.
See you in the house.
Right, you stay up here, Rich. All right, bear with us, guys. I tell you, amateur production now. This is amateur dramatics. So that's Dave there. There's Mike there. Grumpy's bagger there. There he is. Yeah, we've got a nice bunch here. Nice bunch. We'll do this again next year. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll raise money next year.
MT lot are watching.
The MT lot are watching.
Yeah,
Good,
let's
yeah.
say aye, so.
Yeah, good.
All right, MT lot.
MT lot.
Hey.
Now, next year there's a charity that does grants. And I do apologise, I can't remember the acronym for it at the minute. There's a charity that does grants for anybody who's been injured in a motorcycle accident to get them a vehicle that's converted, or like a grant towards conversion kits and things like that. And obviously, you know, we've got Rich to where he needs to be to buy something to get him back mobile. But there's obviously a heck of a lot of people who aren't in a position where they've got people fundraising, and that charity is a great one for giving out grants. The NABD is my memory of the name of the charity, but somebody will correct me. So they give grants. They give grants to people who have been injured. And so I think any fundraising from this point on, I think will be for those guys, because obviously they are helping numerous people. I think he said, when I spoke to them yesterday, they helped 3 or 4 people either a week or a month with grants and things like that. So hand controls, foot controls, you know, adaptations for bikes. So not all as maybe severe as Rich, but people who need help to get back on the road. So it seemed like a great charity. It's not what I was familiar with. And in fairness, they approached, they messaged not asking for help, but offering help. So how can we help Rich? Has he been in touch? I don't think he has. So you know, he's been made aware of them, and they just it seems a great cause, you know. Because the reality is, Rich had an accident. We can all have accidents on motorbikes. Right? If anybody thinks they're immune from collision, damage, broken back or whatever, or death, you know, you're living a false lie. We're doing dangerous things on a dangerous machine, and that's part of the appeal. And bad things happen, and it's nice that there's safety nets there or assistance there for people who maybe haven't got the backing, the financial support to adapt their vehicles. So I think from here on in, that's a pitch forward. If we're doing another event like this, it's to raise money for the charity that is helping numerous people in the UK to get back moving again. You know, so look out for that. There might be another event like this next year. Please come on. You know, this is not a profit raising enterprise. This is an assistance offering enterprise. So yeah, look out for dates next year. So right, let's try and get back cracking. Okay, everyone take a seat, please. Everyone got a drink? You're going to need one when you don't win.
Spill it when you do.
Yeah, spill it when you do. Okay, so Rob, thanks for giving up your time.
No, thanks for listening.
I think that's an insight into a different machine for the type of trip that we might think we need a modern bike to do. And as he described, there are pros and cons to the old bike versus the new. And obviously, it's for you to decide what works for you best. So thank you for that, Rob. I mean, obviously, the next talks, Tom and Lauren, they did Africa on CG125. I mean, that's, again, is it the right bike? Well, obviously, it got on there, so it's not the wrong bike, is it? So I think it's just looking at the trip from a different perspective and looking at bikes from a different perspective. Because I'm sure they'll admit there's no insurance on a bike when you go down to Africa. There's nobody who's going to pay you out if it gets stolen or broken. And therefore, if you're on a £600 CG125, the consequence is not that big. But if you say, I want a big bike, I want a GS, I want to buy something new and shiny, a 1008 700, and that gets stolen, your kids could buy it to 10 grand. So you're looking at it, you've got to start looking at it from a different perspective, and one that suits your whether it's financial needs or ability to accept loss. You know, because setting off on a trip is risky, there's always consequences, and it could be losing a bike that costs you a lot of money. So do you want to go down that path, or do you just want to take something cheap and functional which you don't care about? So, you know, it's all about perspective and what suits you, rather than what somebody else has told you need to buy. You know, if you talk to Rob and he says you really must buy a Panther for your next big trip, you know, it's a pinch of salt really, but you know, we're all different. Okay, so anybody who's tuned in, we're running live on YouTube, because I know obviously not everyone could be here or wanted to be here or whatever. So there's quite a few people, I think there's about 400 maybe sat at home watching this. That's quite nice. Eagerly awaiting victory or alternative. So how it's going to, I've talked to you guys how it's going to work, but I'll just explain for people back home. Everybody bought a ticket, it enters a line on a spreadsheet. If you bought 100 tickets or £100 worth, you got 120 quid worth of tickets. So there's about 44,000 lines on this spreadsheet of mine that I've downloaded. If you bought, as I say, if you bought £100 worth of tickets, there's 120 lines with your name on it. So that's your entry. So yes, it's when people said, "Could you give me my ticket number?" It was a bit awkward, and obviously I can't share that because you know it's got email addresses on it and stuff like that. So what we're going to do, we've got that list open. I'm going to run through a random number generator. A random number generator. It sounds more exotic than it is, but essentially that's. If you can see that, that's line 1, and then the total number of lines is 41,969. When you click on the button generate, it just generates a random number. You might win, So, when we hit that number, we'll take that number and we'll scroll through the Excel sheet to see who's won. Prize 1 is the red one, prize 2 is the green one, prize 3 is the beige one. We've also got some booby prizes, maybe. Anybody want to win a Bentley? 185? No, someone's offered me 700 quid for that, so it's tough. So with no further ado, Rich, you want to roll in?
Yeah, let's roll in.
Rich, just to say, what do you want to do? What's happening? Give us an update, what's happening?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That might be a slight issue. I am back, as you can see, I am back kind of in the fold, rolling around. I shall remain rolling around, unfortunately. The whole standing up thing isn't going to happen. But, thanks to, I mean, bloody hell, thanks to all of your generosity, anybody that's bought a ticket, I will be back joining the fold. I will be out with, I hesitate to say wind in my hair, but flies in my teeth and a grin on my face and a tent on the back. Thanks to all of you guys. So, yeah, and again, thanks to Rob, again, who sold his Grand Challenge bike and donated the money to my fund. Bloody hell, that was a really big hopefully Roy, who's watching, who raised a ton of money as well. So yeah, I will be back, but thanks to you, and it's thanks to all of you, I will be back and irritating most of you again with my presence at some point. Yeah, I am at home fighting the local council to get their house alterations done so I can get up and use my bathroom, which you wouldn't think would be that difficult in 2025, but it is. Working a little bit part-time for her ladyship, who is sat over there. She would probably argue with the word working, but there we are. That's it, and just in the recovery phase, it is a long and brutal and rather slow and frustrating and stressful process. That process has been eased significantly by being here tonight and having you guys watching as well. And for all of your presence, thank you again for the millionth time. You don't bloody know, and you will never know what difference all your generosity and all of your hankerings after the delightful CT125s has made.
Rich, what about have you bought tickets?
No, but I'd have to win 2, wouldn't I, and bolt them together, so chariot.
We could put a
You could, I could, yeah, we are one each side.
Just quickly, I mean, what's options, for you, what's your options? Can-Am or is it a trike?
It'll be a trike. trike or, I mean, a big quad, we'll probably draw the line at a big quad, but yeah, it'll be a trike.
Big council house, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big council house. It is, and hopefully we're going to do some miles, so a quad probably wouldn't be suitable for doing some miles. So it'll be a Can-Am trike, maybe a Harley trike, because I am getting that old and I have a penchant for chaps and tassels. Having been to the Triumph factory today, maybe a trike or something. But yeah, a trike of some description. We will be off shopping at some point, hopefully in the not too distant future, when I find out whether I'm going to have a garage or not, or whether it's going to be demolished and turned into a new bathroom. Yeah, trike shopping incoming. Yeah, triking.
Rocket 3 trike.
Never got on to it.
Even on a wheelchair.
Yeah, I would need, yeah.
All right, let's get some bikes away. Again, Dave, round of applause. Where's Dave Sharp?
Mr. Shaw.
Dave Shaw will shame you on camera. We'll show you on camera as well, so you can't be hidden. Right, let me set this up. Okay, let's point it in the right direction. It's obviously a professional production, this is. I won't go on a tour with me. Rich, right, so with no further ado, that is the unedited basic download of everyone's data. As you can see, Dave Cook, bless you Dave Cook, you were the first to buy a ticket, thank you ever so much. You bought 10 tickets, and that's how it presents itself as we scroll down. If you bought 100 tickets, as I say, you've got 120 entries down there, etc., etc. So, right, no further ado. I was going to say, if you are the winner at home, would you go on the website, nathanthepostman.com, and message us? Because we're going to give you a call. But you can't call my phone because it's recording. So, send us your message and we'll call you straight after. And we want to hear some screaming and yelling. Sit tight. Right, Rich, with no further ado. Reg 1, Reg, CT125, hit the generate button.
The finger.
9,776. Yeah, 9,000. Move your beer bottle, mate. Oh, move the beer bottle, sorry. 9,776. This is for the red one. With a bent back brake.
Swap it for the one on the beige.
Yeah, we'll swap it with the beige one. 9,776. Let's find it. Where are you? Stretching it out. Ryan Walker, winner. Ryan.Walker, that's your email address. You have won a red CT125. Congratulations. Drop us a message. Yeah, somebody record this so I don't forget. Somebody write it down.
17 Ryan Walkers highlighted on tonight.
Has anybody got a pen?
You can highlight it.
Right, winner. Number, okay, yeah, that's a good point. Well, 9976. 9976. That was right, Rich, wasn't it? 9776. Let's just check. That's it, right.
Definitely Mr. Walker.
Okay. Ryan, I hope you're celebrating at home. Next one, the green one, which actually is the best condition one. It's the second prize we've got. Probably the best prize.
It's a bit of a bent brake lever, isn't it?
It's got a straight brake lever. It rides. It's actually a really nice green one. It's kind of subtly appealing rather than in your face red. So, I think whoever wins this one's probably got the best one. Sorry.
Don't tell Graham that.
Right, hit that button, Rich.
Magic finger.
Magic finger, do your thing. Whoa! 17,704. Keep me honest, so little cheaters. 17,000. I'm going to do it the wrong way, build up some tension. Whoa. So click that.
Yeah, I'll just sing a song a minute.
Okay, we're getting there. What was it?
17704.
17704. Michael.
It's not Ryan again, is it? Is it saying what? No. If your name's Ryan, you're in with a good shot for being
He was called Graham, not Brian.
with Brian.
Graham.
Who won the first one?
Graham.
Oh, no, Ryan. It was Ryan. So Ryan, wasn't it? We'll start again. Okay, winner of the green one is Ryan Scarrett. Ryan Scarrett. Let's do that in green, so we don't forget.
Looks like I might have the danger.
Let's put it in bold. Okay, Ryan Scarrett, 17706. 704. We're going to start running the lottery.
16.
Okay, right, that's two given away. Two were given away. Third one. Never has so much generosity laid in the hands of such a complete incompetent. Right, Rich.
I was about to use a different finger then, but
Yeah.
Is the beige one better than the green one?
Now the beige one is it actually runs really nice. It's got a bit of scuffing around the left leg.
Right, ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Generating.
25247.
If this is right, it's coffee.
If it's calling right, it's off right. Yeah. $25. Am I not right? 25247.
Maybe it's Ryan.
Yes. Anybody close?
Dinner's getting cold.
Is it? Is it out yet? 25247.
Next one then.
25247, wasn't it?
Yeah.
25247.
David Baldwin. Oh shit. No, it is David Baldwin. It is David, sorry. Yeah, because the ticket number is 25247. Yeah, it is. The line numbers, yeah, no. The ticket number is 25247, so that is we were just confused because the actual the Excel number was different.
I've been drinking Stella on an empty stomach.
Yeah, but no, the ticket number, David Baldwin, you are winner of the beige CT125. Again, please message on the website and let us know your number. We'll talk on phone and celebrate and all that and do some wheelies for you. So. I think that's it. We have got a few more prizes, a few set of ties to give away, but we'll probably do that after dinner. Is it? What time is it now, anybody?
Dinner time.
Yeah, dinner's coming out very soon. So,
Did you say you got a Bentley as well?
a Bentley, 185. Well, somebody's offered me 700 quid, so you know what I mean. I tell you what, no. Trip on Land's End John O'Groats. Who's going to win trip on the Land's End John O'Groats in June? Right. Go on, Rich, hit that number again. This is a free trip. 20,000, 20,000.
Yeah. That's it.
Just halfway through saying.
2284.
20.
20 zero.
What was it? 20? 20,084. Why can't we say that? Okay, Chris. Chris Mitchell, you, if you want it, I mean, you might not want to come on it, but you've got, you won a trip, Land's End Jolly Goats in June the 14th for a week. That's on me. And the last prize, the ruby prize, is a VIP day down at Dorothy's Speed Shop. Riding whatever bikes you want. So, hit that button again, Rich. Not one of my nice bikes, though. 22,785. 22,785. 22,785. That's Richard Tilley. You've got a day out on bike. He gives a shout about that one as well. So, yeah, I think that's all right. I think we've done well giving away 3 bikes. So again, I'm going to have to address the video. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming. Dinner's coming out now. You've all got your post-it notes, so you know what you're ordering. Thanks everyone back at home. I'll sign off now. But yeah, those 2 guys who won the bikes, the other 2 prizes, just get in touch. All right, thanks, guys. Well, Rich, that was good butt impression. Thank you. All right, all right, that's it. I'm going to sign off. We're going to eat dinner now. We've got soup and chicken and biscuit. Well, as a choice, pork as well. We've got pork. So we're going to eat some food. Hinckley's premier conference and hotel facility, Leonardo's, where everything costs extra. Yes, different world. The corporate world versus the motorcycling world. We are different beasts. All right, take it easy. Have a good one. Have a good Saturday night. Is it Saturday? I don't even know what night it is. Saturday night. Cheers all. How do I stop it? Biscoff. Somebody said, what? Biscoff, like Biscoff cheesecake. You know the Biscoff biscuits? That comes with, that's the thing, put that on a chicken, on cheesecake. Philip, chicken, yeah, thanks guys.